Morning, everybody. I am Meg from Loven Stamps, and you are watching Maker Mornings with Meg. I have a great sentiment to kick off our first video for this week. It comes from the Just My Type stamp set, and it is this one right here. I hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows. So I don't know what could be a nicer sentiment than that. So I hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows. And we're going to start it off with some rainbows this morning and our Just My Type card, which features the Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper. Again, so if you feel like this paper is popping up everywhere, it is because I have been using a lot of it. I love the paper because it features a lot of different images that coordinate with different stamp sets from the catalog that wouldn't have their own DSP necessarily, DSP Designer Series paper. So kind of like this fabulous, whoa, my little scraps there, the fabulous, I know, weird focus, anyway, pretzel paper here that we used on our super cool card couple episodes ago. This is the floating strip technique. You can kind of see that plastic behind there with the floating strips. This paper really gives you a lot of fun chances to have some inspiration for papers. So good morning, everyone. Hey, Trish and Cindy and Chris and so forth. So no matter where you are watching from, I hope that this will be a bright spot to start off your day. So with that, let's go ahead and flip our camera down. I'm going to show you some tips for easy DSP cutting. I'm going to show you a tip for making the most of a fun stamp set with a lot of really great pieces. Just thinking about different things that you can stamp with it. And then kind of a fussy cutting bonus that makes this really otherwise simple card just have that extra little bit of oomph. So it's really simple stamping, stamps, ink, and paper. Okay, we are going to add one bit of bling at the end, just, you know, Sue, right? Couldn't do it without the bling, but you can. It could be just stamps, ink, and paper. So, hey, Pauline, welcome. All right, so for real, switching our camera down, here we go with our card. So, like I said, I really love this Designer Series paper. I love the fronts, I love the backs, and color inspiration for me often comes from these papers. So bubble bath here for those little tiny hearts. You can see that there are a few pinkish ones mixed in. And then pretty peacock for the overall paper. And then kind of to go along with pretty peacock, I really like to use Lost Lagoon. Kind of fits between these two colors really well and gives us just another kind of color option to work with. So just a different, slightly different color. Now, you know, with Pretty Peacock, you could always stamp things like 2, 3, 4 times to get lighter color of this, but I'm gonna show you just a little bit different tone, kind of helps to add to our card. So, hey, Kelly and Tanya and Margaret. So let's bring in our paper. So I have everything pre-cut here. A really simple cutting for making the most of your 12 by 12 paper for this card is to go ahead and just cut a 5 1/4 inch strip and then cut 4 inches and 4 inches, and you're left with 4 inches at the bottom. So you are going to get 1, 2, 3 pieces just like this, which fit as a perfect background on your designers or on your half sheet card base, just like that. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this sort of one step more interesting in a really simple, with one really simple extra cut. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer here, and it doesn't really matter how much you cut off of the side, but I'm going to go with, I don't know, what is this, 1.5 inches, I guess, plus or minus. I'm going to trim this, and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to flip it over this way because it's got a nice match on the back. So we're going to go ahead and mount our paper like this. So it wasn't really an extra piece of paper to cut or figure or anything like that. It was just a flip of the paper that we already had planned to use. So I love easy cutting. All right, now a layer to go on this. I'm going to use a 3x4 piece of white cardstock, and this is where we're going to do our stamping. So if you are a person who like really desperately does not want to cover up this Designer Series paper, that's okay, I get it. You could trim out some elements from here and save that paper for something else, but you're going to get, you know, a couple sheets of this in your package, and there's a lot of paper in that Delightfully Eclectic, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. And I am going to bring in our stamps now. So let's pull out our ink pads. I'm going to start with Pretty Peacock, and we are going to stamp here on our piece of basic white. And I'm going to use this great typewriter. Remember, when you're using these photopolymer stamps, you can really see if you're getting even inking all the way through. So just tap it a couple of times, make sure you got an even ink sort of spread on there, and then stamp on your paper. And then I'm going to add the paper directly to our typewriter. So I'm going to go ahead and ink again, and I'm going to line up those bottoms there and go ahead and stamp that for us. And then I think to go along with our typewriter here, we're going to add this little pot element, such a cute extra bonus. And I want to make sure that it kind of sits on the same horizon line as our typewriter. So I'm going to grab my bubble bath here, and I'm going to put this pot kind of down here on the same horizon line as our typewriter. Then it needs some leaves in it, so this is where I'm going to bring in Lost Lagoon. So normally these are sort of blue-greens, but they make great, you can really lean into the green part of it when you're stamping things like leaves, and they will come out as a green feel instead of more of a blue feel. So, all right, now to go in this, we have, of course, like the thank you words, for you, hi, but I really want to use this, I hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows, inside our card. So we're going to go ahead and add some rainbows here to the front, and I'm going to show you on a piece of scrap paper here. I feel like if I go ahead and use the rainbow here in Lost Lagoon, so I'd stamp this here, and then take our little simple hi and stamp it over the top like this, that is really hard to read there. So instead, what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and stamp my Lost Lagoon. So this is the lighter Lost Lagoon, but remember that you get really three colors out of the same ink pad. So I'm going to go with, I think, the third stamping here to get a nice lighter color here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then 3. So we have our rainbow, but it's like a hint of a rainbow because I really want the hi here to stand out nicely in the center of our card. And then that is going to balance with our bubble bath, which I'm going to pop up here towards the top. So we have our rainbow and our hi. And then when you're looking at this stamp set, I didn't even see it when I looked at the cover, but when I was mounting my stamps, I saw this teeny little paper clip here, and oh my gosh, it is like the cutest thing. So I've got that mounted on a block, and let's zoom in so we can see, there we go, a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and I'm going to do it in the darker Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to paper clip here. So kind of ambiguous whether our paper clip is holding our heart on or just sitting on the paper or whatnot. But there is our fun panel. All right, so this, let me get some pieces back out of the way, can go here on the front of our card. So let's go ahead and pop these down. I'm going to grab my multi-purpose liquid glue and stick this down. One of the things I love about multi-purpose liquid glue is you have just a little bit of time where you can shift your paper pieces if you didn't get them exactly where you want them. And one of the nice things about that for this particular card is that I just put my hand in my ink pad. Pardon me for a moment. I do love my chamois for taking off extra ink. But you can shift things just a little if you realize you didn't get something quite as straight as you like. So let's get that ink pad out of the way. And then our element is going to go here. So let's go ahead and dimensional this down. And then we have an opportunity to add some more dimensionals here before we're done with the front of our card. So I'm going to pop these here on the corners. And yeah, Sue, isn't the paperclip cute? I kind of adore that little image. There's a lot of really great images in this stamp set for sure. So don't worry, we're not done stamping with them. All right, so here's the front of our card. Very cute, definitely a finished and ready to go card as it is. But I really like the idea of making this one little step more crafty. And so I've got this extra piece of cardstock here, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp again our paper top. So we're gonna go ahead and stamp that. And then just for the perspective, I'm gonna ink up my typewriter. And you see, I didn't even bother to ink the whole thing. I'm gonna stamp this at the bottom here. Okay, so now we have this element, and I'm gonna bring back our pieces here. We're gonna stamp this one more time. So one, and I think I want this to be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna go with the second here. I'm gonna go with our heart. Honestly, it's an excuse to use our paper clip one more time and then add that little high. Sorry, I'm kind of low here. And pop that in the center. Now, this is an extra layer that we can use to pop on to the top here. So I'm gonna grab my paper snips and do some fussy cutting. Now, usually I leave a pretty big margin around my image, but this one I'm gonna cut pretty tight. Just like a hair width around of the white. And I like to leave that little hair width there. I'm gonna cut inside here, and I'm gonna cut right flush with the top of our typewriter. I like to leave that little hair because it just adds an extra little highlight. And I'm gonna cut out the typewriter element here. But I went ahead and stamped it just so I'd know for sure where that was supposed to end. So now we have this little paper piece here that we can pop up on top of our paper. So to do that, I want it to be nice and tall at the top. I'm gonna pop 2 dimensionals under the top here. And hello, Montana. Oh, Vonda, I know it's so cute, right? I'm gonna pop a bit of multi-purpose liquid glue down here at the bottom. All right, so now when we stick our piece on, it's gonna fit right there in our stamped area, and it's gotta pop up. So I'm gonna hold this for a second because remember, multi-purpose liquid glue doesn't grab instantly, but there is our little pop-up element. So I really like stamping. You could just not stamp this element on the background if you wanted to. I kind of like putting it in there because it just adds some extra dimension. You wouldn't have to stamp all the pieces in the middle for sure. But you know, just they're cute, right? I like these stamps. So, all right, remember you wanna, did I hold it long enough? Yep, okay, one more second. I don't want it to shift. I want it to stay there at the bottom so that it looks like it's coming out of the typewriter. And there, looks like it's pretty well attached. Okay, now let's scoot to the inside of our card. We have another basic white layer to put in here. And I have the greeting that made me want to make a card this morning anyway, to add to our thing. So hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows. Now that is like, can you see underneath here that I have ink on this? This is like stamping roulette, because when you have inky blocks, the chance of getting that ink on your card or your fingers or anything just like multiplies. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off. Make sure you're looking through your, hey Christina, hey Jamie Sue, make sure you're looking through your block to see where the extra ink is so you're not accidentally getting it on your hands or things like that. So, all right, now, so we have this, but we have to add some sunshine and rainbows to this, of course. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab our rainbow. We're gonna do that full strength, and then I'm gonna add our heart here in Bubble Bath. So that's gonna be the inside of our card. But then we still have another image to use, which is this cute hello. I love this hello. It's honestly what drew me to this in the first place. And I wanna show you another sample from the book where they use this one. So here we are on page 69 in the, here you go, current May through April book. And that sample is this one right here. So see how they use that hello, and they punched it out with circles using different colored ink. So honestly, if I were making this card and I wanted more than one of them, I would just stamp that whole word 5 times in different colors. So if I had to guess, I'd guess that's Flirty Flamingo, Petal Pink, What is that yellow? Daffodil Delight, probably. And then Bubble Bath, and then Berry Burst. And then those are, actually I think that paper is from Delightfully Eclectic. So funny, right? That stripe in the background. Anyway, then I would punch them all out, and you could make 5 different cards. So there's another cute example with a typewriter too, where they actually put the paper, I think behind. I think they're cut as 2 separate elements, because you can kind of see a little shadow there by the edge of that. So really kind of a fun deal. Like I said, it's a great stamp set. So I don't want to miss out on using this. Hey, Joan, gosh, we are all over the country this morning. I love that. But we have our envelope here. So you always have your envelope to stamp, right? Because you're going to send your cards, not just stamp them and hoard them. You're sending them. So I'm going to come back and repeat some of our elements. I'm going to grab this rainbow again. I'm going to grab the heart here. Now, a word of caution here. Oops, I didn't get the top of that ink. There we go. When you stamp fresh, especially on the envelopes, the ink doesn't set quite as quickly on the Stampin' Up! Envelopes as it does on the basic white cardstocks. When you stamp a light color over a dark, you might find you pick up some lines. So like I know that I picked up just a little bit of Lost Lagoon or Peacock ink on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean this before I go on to use that again in my light color. So I don't want to have my pads have a lot of cross-contamination issues. But then we have that fabulous hello across there, and I'm going to go ahead and do that in Lost Lagoon. Again, look through your stamp. Get this one out of the way so we can see. Look through your stamp and make sure everything is nicely inked the way you want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on the back of our envelope. And so now we have our envelope back here with our hello message, and our front, and our card, which here, hold on, I have not stuck this down inside. And then we're going to come back, and we are at Stamps, Ink, and Paper right now, but I know that we need a tiny bit of bling to set off the front of our card. Well, we don't need it, but I really like it. Oh, hey, Anna. I'm so glad you like the card, and I hope your day gets cooler. We are destined for super warm temps this week here. The heat index here in central Illinois was like 100 and, I don't know, 10 or 108 or something silly yesterday. And I actually was just in Orlando a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was hotter here than it was then in Orlando. Just, oh my gosh, the temperature is, temperature plus humidity is a big thing. So if you don't have humidity where you live, which is not Anna in Georgia, if you don't have humidity though, you do not know what you're missing. Okay, so what to add to this for our bling? Here are the sequin trios that are part of the suite that we're featuring this month. So this is our paper here from the Masterfully Made suite. And so I love these sequins, and coincidentally, like, do you notice anything similar here? I'm having trouble letting go of these colors. I was so happy to see the Lost Lagoon come back in the catalog. So, and wait, did Pretty Peacock just return too? No, I can't remember if it was. It feels like it's always been there. So we're just gonna use one little pink sequin here, and I'm gonna pop it up here on our bubble bath just to accent our heart there. So sending a little bit of love with our fun pop-up here, and our day filled with sunshine and rainbows. Hello. You could also do a happy birthday greeting on the front. A day filled with sunshine and rainbows would make a great inside for a birthday card. Oh, I agree, Elaine. It is a great stamp set. So lots of fun ideas here, and so many things to do with this. Now, so I'm going to do a little mini commentary here. So one of the sneak peeks from the upcoming catalog. Wait, do I have it? Where is my, oh goodness gracious, there it is, Modern Garden. Speaking of stamp sets with lots of great pieces, one stamp set, this is a sneak peek from the upcoming holiday catalog, so it starts on September 6th, but Modern Garden is very similar. It's a floral, but lots and lots of great mix and match pieces. And I'm showing you this now because I'm hosting a big demonstrator training event The event date is September 23rd, and it's an all-day online training. Here, I'll switch back here. An all-day online training. It is a really great chance to get a lot of cool inspiration from some really great demonstrators. It's the 18th annual Vacation Stamping School that I've been running with these demonstrator friends for, well, 18 years, which is hard to believe. But there's a link in the video description for the registration. So if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, if you're in my group, you've already been invited to this and so forth. If you've attended in the past, yay, it's so fun to see you here too. And you've been invited already. But if you haven't heard about this, I highly recommend that you go take a look, sign up. You get some really fun ideas. You'll get a great day of inspiration, and past reviews of this event have been outstanding. So it's a really neat chance to get some ideas that you can use in your stamping or in your business, no matter what kind of demonstrator you are. And if you are kind of like, wait, a day of stamping? I want to do that. Then you're not a demonstrator, then I would love to have you join my demonstrator family. There is a link in the video description for more information about that also. And once you are a demonstrator, then you can sign up for Vacation Stamping School. There are some little perks of being part of my team and signing up for that, so watch for that detail to come too. But I wanted to show you this one because it kind of reminds me of this Just My Type stamp set. So you can't order Modern Garden now unless you're a demonstrator. You can order it on a demonstrator pre-order because, of course, demonstrators have early access to the catalogs. And so you could order Modern Garden and the paper or the punch that goes with it as part of your demonstrator kit if you're not a demonstrator yet. So lots of good possibilities there. But in any case, I hope that this has been a fun stamping start to your day with our, of course, hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows, which is a perfect sentiment for any occasion. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Link is in the video description for supplies as always. And I appreciate your orders. They support my ability to make these videos for you. So have a great day, and I will look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday with another Maker Mornings with Meg video. And I think we might be looking at something a little bit more technique-y on Thursday. So we're going to call it Technique Thursday this week. So watch for that one, and I will see you on Thursday. So stay cool, guys. Happy stamping.